Millionaire man sees black maid saving his only daughter and changes her life forever. The air was filled with laughter, wine, and the clink of crystal glasses. It was the Langston Estate Spring Gala, a private invitation-only event thrown by Gregory Langston, millionaire hedge fund director, for a carefully curated list of socialites, investors, and elite friends. The white marble patio gleamed, champagne flowed, and live string music danced through the air like perfume. But 7-year-old Isabel Langston, the host's only child, wasn't interested in grown-up chatter. She wandered, pink blazer swinging away from the crowd toward the blue shimmer of the backyard pool. Her nanny had taken the evening off. Gregory thought she was with her mother. Her mother thought she was with a nanny. No one noticed her tiny feet crossing the slippery tiles. She leaned over the edge. A yellow toy duck floated just out of reach. She stretched, slipped, and disappeared beneath the water. No splash, no scream, just a faint ripple as her little body vanished below the surface. Seconds passed. No one saw until Martha did. Martha, the black house maid, was polishing glasses in the outdoor kitchen when something made her glance toward the pool. A flicker, a strange stillness. No one else looked. The women in satin gowns were too busy giggling over some whispered gossip. The men were deep in wine and business chatter, but Martha froze. That pink blazer floating barely beneath the surface. "Oh my God," she breathed. She didn't shout. She didn't ask. She ran. Still wearing her gray maid uniform, apron still tied, yellow gloves still on. She leapt straight into the water. Gasps rang out, some confused, some annoyed. Two women in silk dresses started laughing. "Oh no, she didn't." One cackled. "Is she serious right now?" The other smirked, but Martha was already underwater. The chill bit into her chest, the apron tangled in her legs, but her arms pushed forward. She reached the small, limp body within seconds, and pulled her up, breaking the surface with a loud gasp from both of them. The girl's eyes were wide in panic. She coughed and sputtered. Martha held her tight, one arm across Isabel's chest, the other stroking to the pool's edge. "It's okay, baby. I got you. You're okay." That's when Gregory appeared. He'd been inside shaking hands when someone shouted his name. Now he ran onto the patio, eyes scanning the scene, and froze. His daughter in the water, his maid holding her. For a second, his brain couldn't catch up. His feet didn't move. The women who were laughing, still smiling, barely hiding their amusement. But the man saw none of it. All he saw was Isabel soaked, crying, clinging to Martha's uniform like a lifeline. "What happened?" he shouted, voice cracking. "She fell in," Martha panted. "I pulled her out. She's breathing. She's okay." He rushed to the edge of the pool as Martha guided the girl to the stairs. She climbed out, holding the child close, soaking wet herself. Gregory reached for Isabel, who flung her arms around his neck and sobbed. The weight of her wet blazer collapsed against his suit. "You saved her?" he asked, looking at Martha. She nodded once, trembling. I saw her fall. No one else saw." Gregory turned slowly. His eyes scanned the patio. Not one guest looked apologetic. Not one had moved. Two women averted their eyes and walked off toward the bar. No one else had done anything, only her. Isabel's sobs grew softer, her face buried in his chest. Gregory looked at Martha again, her soaked gloves still clung to the child's back. "You jumped in wearing gloves," he whispered as if realizing it for the first time. Martha looked down ashamed. "I didn't think. I've seen it happen before. My little cousin years ago drowned before we could pull him out." She blinked quickly. "I wasn't fast enough that time. I wasn't going to let it happen again." Gregory's throat clenched. Someone approached with a towel. Too late. Another offered to drink as if that could undo what almost happened. He ignored them. Martha stood up slowly, brushing her soaked apron down, ready to walk away. But Gregory said quietly, "Don't." She turned. "Come with us," he said. "Inside, please." She hesitated, unsure. "You saved my daughter's life. You don't walk away like that. Not today." The guests went back to their chatter. But for Gregory Langston, something inside him had shifted. A fracture in the perfect glass walls of his world. One that started with a maid diving into a pool while people in gowns did nothing but laugh. And it wasn't going to end here. Martha sat on the edge of the plush sofa, her soaked uniform dripping onto the marble floor. She had refused dry clothes 3 times, saying she didn't want to dirty anything. Gregory knelt in front of her with a towel, gently wiping Isabel's wet hair as she lay curled up beside her rescuer, refusing to leave her side. Outside, the party limped along. Some guests had left. Others lingered awkwardly near the pool, pretending nothing had happened. But inside the house, something had shifted in the air. The silence was thicker than grief. Gregory finally looked up. "You said you lost someone." Martha nodded once, eyes down. "My cousin Jamal. I was 12. He was 6. We were playing near a pond in Mississippi. I turned around for 2 minutes. When I looked back, he was gone. I never forgot that." Her voice trembled. "I never stopped blaming myself." Gregory swallowed. He glanced at Isabel again, her breathing soft now, one tiny hand still resting on Martha's arm. "I never would have noticed," he said quietly. "Not in time. I didn't even know where she was." "She shouldn't have been alone," Martha whispered almost to herself. "But you know that already." Gregory sat back. He did know, but he hadn't cared. Not enough anyway until now. "I hired you to clean my house," he said. "Not to save my family, but you did that anyway." "I didn't think about my job," she said. "I saw a child in danger. That's all I saw." She looked up, finally meeting his eyes. "That's all anyone should have seen." Gregory's chest tightened. He had grown up in a world that separated people by status and uniforms. That taught him to ignore the maid unless she missed a corner, to judge value by how someone dressed, how they spoke. But in the moment that truly mattered, a child nearly drowning, none of that had saved his daughter. Only Martha had. "I owe you more than thanks," he said finally. "I didn't do it for thanks," Martha replied. "I know," Gregory said, voice raw. "That's what makes it matter more." He stood up and walked into his study. When he returned, he held a thick envelope and a small key. "I'm not giving you charity," he said. "You deserve more than that. This is a tuition fund for whatever future you want. You once told my wife you never got to finish nursing school." Martha blinked. "How did you?" "I listen better now," he said simply. "Also, this key, it's for the guest house. It's yours. No more cramped quarters behind the kitchen. It's fully furnished. It's yours as long as you want it." She shook her head, overwhelmed. "Mr. Langston, I can't accept all this." "You can," he said. "You will, and not because I pity you, because I admire you." Martha pressed her lips together, trying not to cry. Her soaked apron clung to her chest. Isabel stirred. "Daddy," Gregory turned. "Yes, baby. She's my hero," Isabel mumbled. He smiled. "Yes, sweetheart. She really is." That evening, after the guests had left and the backyard had been cleaned, Gregory called a meeting with the staff. He stood before them, not as a boss barking orders, but as a man who had seen something break and realign inside himself. "Today," he said, "Martha reminded me what it means to be human and what it means to have failed as one." No one moved. "I've been blind to who does the real work in this house. That ends now." Martha, standing near the door, flushed with quiet shock. Later, as the sun dipped behind the hedges, she stepped out onto the porch, dry clothes on her back and the key in her pocket. She looked out at the pool, still empty now, and took a breath that felt like the first free breath in years. Inside, Isabel was already drawing a picture. A woman with dark skin and yellow gloves pulling a little girl out of blue water. She titled it in crayon, "Martha Saves Me." Gregory framed it the next day, and from that moment on, Martha was no longer the maid in the background. She was a savior to them. She was family. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.